This is Taverns and Dragons. I'll give you one guess what this game is about. Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be taking a look at Taverns and Dragons. This is a dice placement and worker placement game where you are tasked with crafting recipes that attract the most prestige to your tavern, and at the same time you can go fight some dragons. Honestly, I don't know how the dragons fit in, but it's Taverns and Dragons, so let's check it out. So this is by Lord Raccoon Games, who is a small publisher. They have only put out one other game other than this, and that was The Last Bottle of Rum. But this game got my attention because it had a lot of charm, and at the time, I think I was really into dice placement as well. This one kind of gives me the Monsterlands vibe a little bit, with a little bit of brew. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but I love that right off the bat here we have the solo mode. This was a Kickstarter exclusive, which is one of the reasons why I went ahead and backed the Kickstarter, so that I could make sure I wasn't paying extra for this. But here is the pamphlet for the solo mode, and then there is the Sneaky Goblin module and the Heralds of the Apocalypse module. These are just added in as you wish. Those are all Kickstarter bonuses. Here we have a rule book. By the way, I really love the art in this game. If nothing else, this one looks like it's a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of fun table presence. So there's this board here in the center. We'll see that shortly. And your meeples actually will kind of travel around the board picking up ingredients. And then you can place your dice as you roll them on various things to take various actions, and depending on the number on the die, will change those actions. So you have your, I don't know if it's just one meeple or several who are working inside the map here, and then your dice are going everywhere else. One thing that I remember reading about, which I think is just brilliant, but only really works for games like this where you're rolling several dice, is that you roll out your 5 dice at the beginning of every round. Every player has special colored, unique colored dice, and whoever has the lowest total gets to be the first player, because most likely you're at a disadvantage. So there, for that round, so you could continue to be the first player. Unfortunately, that means you're probably rolling poorly. But yeah, really nice, colorful rule book here. Sometimes it bothers me when there's all this blank space. Like, you could have done something with that, but I'm getting picky. All right, doesn't look too bad. This does appear to be a family-friendly game. Right, we've got some standees. So there's no miniatures in this game, which I'm perfectly fine with, because this is some really cool art. So we have some dragons here, some other tokens. I don't know, maybe this is the first player token. And then we have a whole bunch of what I'm assuming is ingredients. We got some meat, some mushrooms, some cayenne pepper, some kind of dragon fruit. We have some coins. And we have, I don't know, a whole bunch of more stuff. I do, however, have some metal coins that came as an add-on. It was really the only add-on they offered, which was kind of nice. You weren't flooded with all these additional options, but these, just this, I mean, you're seeing them the first time I am, as I struggle to get the staples off, but these are some hefty coins. I mean, they are no joke here. That's some serious weight to these. I really like these. So these will, I don't know whether I may keep them with the game. A lot of times I like to keep coins like this in a separate compartment, and then I can use them for any game. Like all of my scythe coins, I keep in a separate compartment. I know where to find them when I play Scythe, but I can also use them for other games. All right, here we have, I'm guessing this is probably all the additional modules that were Kickstarter exclusives. So like this cardboard cutout here, because this is a sneaky goblin. Wouldn't even appear in your box if it's retail version. And on the back side is the solo mode. So yeah, that's probably what I'm guessing, that if you pick this up in retail, you may not see this. This may appear as an add-on, depending on how successful the game is. All right, we've got some crunching of the plastic. So here's the board. Let's take a look at the board. So here is the board. This is probably one of the nicest features of the game. It's not huge. It's a 6-fold board, but the individual pieces are not as big as some other boards I have. So I know you can place dice here to go to the bank. Your meeples are going to be running around here, collecting resources, going to those locations that we looked at. So I love how colorful this is. Your recipes are going to be stored over here. If you craft some of the bottom two ones, you're going to get extra resources. Your heroes are going to be up here, and then your dragon is going to sit up here, and that's pretty much it. There's a little teeny tiny prestige track running around the outside here. That looks pretty small. Yeah, that's the only negative I see here, but other than that, I like the board. Moving on back into the box, we have Inn of the Drooling Pig. So that's fun. They've got some flavor text here. So each tavern is unique. Appears to be they gain some unique stuff at the bottom. The Griffin's Nest, the Kraken's Galley, the Inn of the Blazing Unicorns, and there should be a fifth one. Yep, the Thirsty Troll's Den. So bumping this up from 4 to 5 players was one of the stretch goals. So then we have these dragons here that are on a nice, like, I don't know what kind of finish this is. It's like a matte finish, but this is good card stock here. The Polar, the Titan. I have no idea, by the way, how you go about fighting these dragons or what you get. The Greedy, the Guardian, the Celestial, and the Torch, who obviously is on the box. All right, whole bunch of stuff here. Little tiny bag. That's fun. I don't know what goes in that. We have some markers, I'm assuming in the various player colors. So yeah, gray, pink, green, orange, and blue. So that would be, here are our meeples. Some big chunky meeples. Now, you can, this is interesting. Give me your opinion on these, please. So, what are your thoughts on the fact that these are not meeple shaped? They're just kind of blobs with stickers on them. It means they can add more fun stuff on them more easily. But I don't know. I think I'd rather have the meeple than be actual meeple shaped. But these are okay. I mean, obviously I'm glad they put the little stickers on them, or else they'd be woefully disappointing. But they're all right. We have some custom dice here that are marbleized. That's nice. Have various weapons on them. And then we have a whole bunch of other dice in the player colors. Now, I've done several unboxings recently where I have pointed out how ridiculous it is that they can't make player colors varying from each other, but these are nice and different. I can clearly tell the difference between all of them. I have a nice marble finish to them. Yeah, these are not standard V6s. There's like 2 1s, 2 2s, a 3, and a 4, I think, on there. We've got some little gems here. Some little red. These remind me of the wine tokens in viticulture. Some standees. Okay. We have some locations. Let's take a look at these here before we dive into the cards. Okay, so double-sided locations. I do like that they have gone with the whole Meeple theme, that, you know, it's like Meeples running around this little universe. So that's fun. Okay, so there's some location tiles, and then we've got some smaller cards, which are the recipes, and we have some what I believe to be mostly hero cards, but there's some solo cards tucked in here as well. So maybe they always plan to have the solo mode attached. There's some nice artwork here around the outside of the box. I always like that. That's a nice touch. You rarely ever see it, but there you go. All right, let's. Hold on, we just got to peek. Always got to peek. Nothing in there. The insert's okay. All right, let's take a closer look at these. Okay. So, first thing we have here, larger cards. These are heroes. So let me just pull these off the top here. So, heroes, you can hire them. They're going to give you prestige at the end of the game, but they also give you these, abilities right here that you can use, and these guys don't come back like every round. It's like every other round basically, but then they would refresh and you can use them again. They also have these one-time bonuses here. I guess this would be to roll an automatic sword, but like this guy here could give you once per game that ingredient. I don't know why you wouldn't just like take it as soon as you got it from him, but yeah, basically you pay to hire these guys, and then you can use them throughout the game. So some fun artwork here. Decent little collection. I haven't seen anything that's remotely the same. So I believe here at some point these guys are the heralds of the apocalypse or something like that. Maybe it's this guy. Okay, yeah. I think this guy has something to do with the solo mode. And then these guys here, these funkier looking ones, are the heralds. Yeah, fear, plague, war, and conquest instead of pestilence. They have the same back, so I guess they just get shuffled in with the rest. So that's one of the modules. This next set of cards here these are event cards. This is another module that you can add into the game, take it or leave it. But basically, you reveal one of these. I think it's every other round or something like that. And pick one. I don't know why you wouldn't always pick the good one, but maybe you can't. Who knows? All right, let's see here. These are quest cards. I believe these are part of the solo mode. Actually, I think everything here from here on. I'm not 100% sure how the quest cards work. Here's some game overview cards. This is for the solo mode. And then these cards here with this sinister looking fellow on the back are your how the solo AI works. So there you go. That's all the large cards. Let's stack these back up here. And then we have some recipe cards. Look like this on the back. Basically, these are going to be set out, and once you have collected these resources, you can send or spend a die to craft this, spending those resources, getting this amount of prestige, plus the amount on the die you rolled. So very straightforward, very simple. Nothing too overly complicated. they all have fun names and pictures and things like that. But yeah, there you go. Obviously, well, no, I guess this stuff is harder to get than this stuff, because this is just 2 of the same thing. But yeah, kind of appreciate that. That's pretty simple. Hopefully my kids can get it. And then, well, there's a few things here. All right, so we have these. This is another module. So these are, we had events, and now we have missions. So the missions, you put 1 out in front of everybody, and then you deal each player 2. They keep 1 face down throughout the game, and at the end of the game, if you have fulfilled it, that's some bonus bonus prestige. And then these are item cards. I am honestly not sure. I believe these come into play with the greedy goblin, because he likes to take things and he has stuff. So I think these go along with the greedy goblin. And then there's this one, Draconic Cookbook, double your loot points. But it has this definitively different card here. I don't know if this is for the last bottle of rum. You know, like here's the last bottle of rum, earn 5 points. But that card back looks like this. This one looks like nothing like anything else you have. So I'm wondering if this is like a crossover card. If you happen to own their other game, you can throw that in there. So yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just real quick see how all this fits back into the included insert. See if we if it's worth it, or if we're going to be chucking it. Okay, so everything's in here. The one thing that's not in here though is the metal coins. So this kind of you know, makes the decision as to whether I should keep those separate. Answers that dilemma for me. It would have been nice that they had thought about this, but let's just take a look. The insert's okay, but it certainly could be better. So rule books on top. The board sits here. There are these 2 little tabs here which keep it in place. That's nice, and the board kind of keeps everything below it. There's not a whole lot of room for stuff to move, especially once the rule books are on top. I didn't feel like I needed to put any of the boards underneath here. So over here we basically have, down underneath were the locations, and then all the standees on top, the standee bases, and then this bag. And the bag holds the ingredients that you randomly draw out throughout the game. We're going to come back to that in a minute. It's empty. Then there's this tray for tokens here. And we have all our small cards here, our big cards here. And right now I have all the coins under there. Now, this is a little upsetting, and I'll tell you why here in a second. So we've got the goblin board, which is actually, in the solo board, was actually the smallest footprint. So stuck him on top. And then we've got the dragon boards, the inn boards, and then pretty much everything else. I went ahead and pulled out the dice and the meeples, have them just, you know, laying separately, and then the other 3 items in the bag. But you'll notice there's some tokens in this bag. Here's the other stuff, so those can easily be pulled out. I guess I could probably like work this stuff around to see if you know, I could make a more flatter surface. I don't know, spread the stuff out, but there's lots of ways you could store these guys in here. You know. So this big opening works well for these big chunky meeples and this other stuff. So you could do something kind of like this, probably. And still have it. You want it to sit below so that these don't get bent up. But you'll notice here there's a huge well for tokens here, and then one here. So I punched out everything, and including what I believe was a Kickstarter exclusive for the Goblin module in the solo mode. And you'll notice that I had to stick the coins down there, and even then I didn't get everything in there. And so I don't think that if I removed what was on the solo board, which is only about this much of stuff, I still wouldn't be able to fit anything in here, which is a little frustrating. That, okay, why is there not enough space to fit all of these tokens? I'm just a little baffled. Now, at first I thought, oh, some of them must live in this bag. But there's a very specific number of tokens that you would put into the bag and then draw from. So maybe I could pull those out and just always have just the starting ingredients, which is like 6 living in here. But maybe that would be enough to fit those. But my coins would still be under there. My metal coins don't even fit in the box. So like I said, it functions, but it definitely could be better. I will probably be looking at some alternatives to store this one away. I do like how these things have their spots, so they're not going to be bouncing around very much. And how the board is held in here nicely. But that's about it that I'm overjoyed for as far as the insert is concerned. But it works. It's functional. It's there. It's better than nothing. Take it or leave it. At this point, I'll let it be your opinion. But that's going to do it for our unboxing of Taverns and Dragons. Up next, we will do a how to play video, because I don't think this game is on a lot of people's radars, and I want to see how it plays. So keep an eye out for that. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content on the Meeple Marathon, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.